Welcome to Snyder's Inc., where the fun never ends. Reactions, gaming, and more with Josh as your friend. Tune in, buckle up, it's a ride you don't wanna miss. Snyder's Inc., let's dive in, feel the ultimate bliss.
To Snyder's Inc., and today we got a wrestling reaction for you, and this is top 10 greatest WWE Universal Championship matches ever. We're gonna get right into this. We're gonna see if this truly is a list of 10 greatest Universal Championship matches ever. Are you guys ready? Of course you're ready. Let's go.
Since it was introduced, the Universal Championship has gone from universally despised jam belt to universally tolerated mustard belt. In that time, 8 different men have held it, unless LA Knight managed to win it yesterday, in which case I've just made a killing on a bet, so screw you guys, I'm off to sunny Mexico. But if not, over the next 2 lists you're going to see a lot of the same names, and within these various combinations there have been some absolute gems. These are they. I'm Dan, hailing from Parts Unknown, and these are the 10 greatest Universal Championship matches ever. Number 10, Brock Lesnar vs Seth Rollins, WrestleMania 35. With honorable mention to their great...
I'm about to say, I enjoyed the SummerSlam match more than the WrestleMania one. The WrestleMania one was just, it was really quick. It worked for the thing to get the crowd lit up, because you lit up with the crowd. You light it up with those 2 men. They go at it. Went for 5 minutes or so. Seth Rollins wins the belt. It's great reaction to start of Mania. So they did it right then. And if it wasn't for Seth's stupid mouth, I would love this match way more, but I really do love this match. The SummerSlam one. If only Seth had just kept his stupid mouth shut leading up to it. Just stop talking.
Clash at SummerSlam a few months after, I have really fond memories of this brief match that kicked off what was probably the last single night WrestleMania. It started with a great bit of theatre. Host Alexa Bliss had manifested Hulk Hogan and they were mugging to the audience when through the middle of them charged a mightily grumpy Paul Heyman. In true whingy heel fashion, Heyman grabbed a mic and complained that since his client wasn't going to be on last, they'd instead go on first and get out of this town as quickly as they could. This brought out the challenger, a fired up Seth Rollins, who was enjoying a great run, chasing the title after winning the Rumble. Immediately, Lesnar manhandles Rollins and it looks like he's going to rough him up to make quick work of him, but one swift arm to the gonads cuts the beast off in his tracks as Rollins hits a trifecta of stomps for the win, much to the approval of the faithful in attendance. WWE was smart to capitalize on the fans' energy behind Rollins in this moment and use this as a quick way to set the live crowd up for the night ahead. They only needed to sustain it for a further, 5 hours. Good luck. Number 9, Kevin Owens vs...
Hoy. Look, one day I plan to do in the new year is review every WrestleMania. Some of these are gonna be a just a load to get through. These are gonna get a load to get through. Trust me on that.
This is Roman Reigns, Royal Rumble 2017. Owens and Reigns have had 3 matches at the Royal...
Oh yeah, it's the shark cage match. I forgot about this match. It's the shark cage match. Chris Jericho was hanged in the shark cage. I completely forgot about this one. Chris Jericho, what you were willing to do to entertain us back then is beautiful. Of course, they did just to sell a toy, but like I love the fact they even did this to begin with. Jericho's willing to do some things to entertain us. Trust me.
Royal Rumble for the Universal title. We could have happily picked any, but I went for this one because of 6 simple words. Chris Jericho in a shark cage. Wrestling is brilliantly stupid. I appreciate that this match doesn't hang about in its quest to take advantage of the no DQ stipulation as the pair brawl into the crowd in the early going, while Jericho hangs above the ring in a cage. At one point, Owens builds a Jenga tower of chairs and they do a will they won't they spot where each man teases throwing the other one through it, much to the crowd's appreciation, Jericho still hanging in a cage. A few tables get shattered, as do a few vertebrae, as Kevin falls off the ropes through...
Yeah, because I think Braun Strowman helps Kevin win. Because they're doing the match fasting, you know, the one Roman Reigns was in sneakers. Like bright white sneakers. I remember that then. But yeah, this match is really, this match is really fun. I forgot about it because, you know, freaking shark cage.
Through his chair tower and then is powerbombed through the announce table before Braun Strowman interferes to take Roman out and leave the door open for Owens to sneak a victory, during all of which I can confirm that Jericho remains hanging in a cage. Excellent stuff. Number 8, Roman Reigns vs Drew McIntyre, Clash at the Castle 2022. Now then,
Oh boy, The match where I believed that Drew could do it. I wish he did. I'm sick of Roman. I'm so sick of him. But this match was really good. Oh, it had me at the edge of my seat. It had me believing. You made me believe, Genevieve. You took it away, and now I no longer believe. I don't believe anymore. Why won't you let me believe?
I like this one very much because, fact to fact America, British crowds do it better. And whacking a beloved Scot in front of a rowdy Welsh crowd in the first live premium show on this fair isle in 30 years is enough to send even the most mild-mannered of Brits careening wildly into a fountain of lager. Diolch yn fawr. Also, it does rather help that this was our first live watch-along show, and when the match itself then delivers heart-in-your-throat levels of suspense that had Ollie Davis clutching my arm so much that I've still got a mark, it makes you remember why you fell in love with this whole game in the first place. All signs pointed to this being the moment that the head of the table was turfed out of his high chair, the build of Drew finally getting his crowning moment in front of actual human beings, the use of his classic Broken Dreams theme over a montage of actual footage of baby Drew holding a toy belt right through his career to this point, and then the match starts as a slow burn that builds to a crescendo. There's a desperately unwanted cash-in attempt that's stifled by a fellow Brit, and the Claymore makes Cardiff come unglued before the most devastatingly well-executed near-fall breaks all of our dreams. Number 7, Goldberg versus...
I have made this clear. You're not gonna have to hold me to this because I know this. Roman Reigns goes past this WrestleMania as champion. I'm done with WWE. It has reached the point of too damn far. I'll be done with it. If Roman Reigns survives past this WrestleMania coming up as WWE champ, I'm done with this damn company.
This is Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania 33. For some it might be quite high, but I love this match. It's such a perfectly measured conclusion to an excellent story. It's a textbook 3-act structure of a program that began at Survivor Series 2016 with that truly astonishing squash from Goldberg. It continued through an unceremonious elimination of Lesnar by Billy Bobs at the Royal Rumble and culminated with an excellent bit of action figure wrestling at the Ultimate Thrill Ride. It's also a triumphant make-good for their ill-fated match of WrestleMania 20 where they each got booed out of the building. Not a lot happens, but that's all to the better, and you wouldn't know it from the roars of the crowd. The move list, in order, is German suplex, spear, jackhammer, more Germans, F5, pin. That's it. It's no more than it needs to be, and it doesn't come close to outstaying its welcome. You'd never know it from listening to me monologue on the Raw review, but sometimes brevity is key to the maximum impact, and I'm genuinely impressed with the restraint WWE showed in the booking here. Number 6, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, SummerSlam 2022.
It had a tractor. What tops that? What tops it? It's immediate there. It's a tractor. It's a fucking tractor. What tops a tractor? Tell me. What tops a tractor?
Spoken before about how Last Man Standing is one of my least favourite wrestling stipulations. I just don't think there's anything of spectacle about two men staggering to their feet for a 9 count every couple of minutes. So how do you fix that and win me over?
Tractor.
By introducing a tractor to the equation, apparently. How old am I?
I'm telling you, everything is better with a tractor. Make that on a t-shirt, make that a quote from me for that time. Everything is better with a freaking tractor.
5. Before the match starts, Lesnar calls himself a big old country boy and then throws his mic at Roman, who catches it in one hand, which is just straight up baller. And then he jumps off the tractor onto him. Excellent stuff. And how do you argue with the giant tractor lifting the ring up and causing Roman to tumble out of the ring like a live action game of Fall Guys? And then a cut to Brock Lesnar look like a child who can't believe he's getting away with it. It just gets 5 stars for this alone. The fact is, WWE had been trying to make fetch happen with these two for so long by this point that the fatigue was very real. So the extra spice of country boy Brock having the time of his life and the sheer bombastic nonsense of it all makes this an absolute riot. Number 5, Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles, Money in the Bank 2019. There was a reason WWE went with these two men to wrestle the match that crowned a new World Heavyweight Champ earlier this year, and the reason was this match. It's a showcase of two wrestlers deeply comfortable in their own style.
Oh, WWE, ever since 2017, you have not known what to do with AJ Styles, have you? AJ Styles should be like multiple-time world champion. I don't mean 2-time, I mean like 4 or 5 time. The man is phenomenal for a reason. The best damn wrestler, one of the best damn wrestlers in the world, period. Yet he's never given the world more title shots. Why is AJ not faced Roman Reigns yet? That's ridiculous. What the hell?
styles and their craft, trusting each other to work a
I mean for the Tribal Chief Roman. I don't mean, I know they faced each other in 2016. You know, I know what I mean.
fast-paced, tightly contested match that needs pinpoint precision and timing to keep everything looking spectacular while staying safe. To illustrate that point, as the match nears its climax, Rollins goes for a stomp that somehow, with a fluidity so beautiful it might as well have been animated, AJ reverses into a Styles clash, and I kid you not, as I was watching this back, I screamed out loud. If you draw this match on a graph, and it's one of my favourite things to do, it's a beautiful curve starting slow as they feel each other out before getting faster, more dramatic, and more high risk as it goes. Chemistry is 9/10 of wrestling, and these two have it in spades. It was the very first one-on-one encounter between these two greats of the game, and it's a match so good, I'm genuinely grateful that they've, at least somewhat, resisted the temptation to run it back over and over. Number 4, Roman Reigns vs Daniel Bryan, SmackDown 2021. The only match on our list that took place on weekly TV.
Is incredible. Roman Reigns. This is the part that makes me laugh about WWE and wrestling fans. A lot of people act like Roman Reigns only got good and the bloodline stuff only got good when Triple H took over, which annoys me to God's end. Because while we might not like Vince McMahon, Vince booked Roman Reigns pretty damn well up until the first Brock thing. Like from SummerSlam 2020 until the build to WrestleMania of 2022, Roman Reigns was booked really freaking well. You can't really complain about much. There's not much wrong with it. I don't know why people's thought process is pretend like Vince McMahon didn't book Tribal Chief Roman Reigns well. There's a reason we all loved it. It was under Vince's thing. Stop dismissing Vince McMahon from this. I hate when people say it. It's really annoying.
Not only that, it's the Ruddy Thunderdome, which is usually an instant DQ around these parts, so its presence here is even more impressive. TV presents its own set of challenges towards putting together a quality match. It's hard to get momentum and sustain it when you have to construct it around regular commercial breaks. But that didn't stop these two. They've always meshed well together. I mean, it's Bryan Danielson for crying out loud. He wrestled Tom McGee to a 5-star match on a rainy day in Stoke. That's 2 jokes for the price of 1. You're welcome. It's an evenly paced contest with each man at various points getting the upper hand, but never long enough to capitalize. It becomes a story of endurance. They have to dig deep to find their reserves and somehow overpower their opponent. In the end, they trade submissions and Bryan passes out. It's interesting in hindsight knowing this was Bryan's final WWE match. He doesn't tap, but by passing out, he gives Reigns a crucial clean win that puts the audience in no doubt that this new Roman is an absolute monster. Number 3, Roman Reigns vs Sami Zayn, Elimination Chamber 2023. There may
I don't know, and I love Sami Zayn. I don't know why people thought he actually could win here. He never stood a chance. I went into this and I saw so many people be like, oh, Sami's gonna win, Sami's gonna be the one, and if Sami does, they'll riot. Worst of all, no they won't. I don't think I can't remember the last time there was ever a riot or anger or frustration or like actual heat from a title reign match ending. I cannot remember the time trash has been thrown into a ring. I don't know why that's not a thing anymore. I don't know why WWE hates it. That's a fun part. I love trash being, like the visual trash being thrown in the ring. It's freaking incredible. Helps add to something. What am I smelling? Smells like something's burning. I'm gonna go check when I'm done. Something smells like it's burning. I don't know where it's coming from. It smells like I hate it. But yeah, Sami never stood a chance here. I don't know why people somehow thought he did. Oh my.
be some recency bias here, but I'll acknowledge it. What am I like? While you may have your thoughts about the Bloodline saga as we near the end of 2023, it's hard to argue that Sami Zayn breaking free of Roman's emotional manipulation and challenging for the big belt in his hometown of Montreal represented its apotheosis. Yes, I use that word, they don't call me the professor for nothing. At this point, the main event of WrestleMania seemed pretty nailed on, but WWE did a fabulous job of weaving Zayn into that story that they managed to keep the flicker of hope alive in the minds of legions of fans around the world who felt we could somehow collectively will him to the title. I challenge you to watch his entrance with a dry eye. Having his family at ringside was an inspired touch that took already sky-high soap opera drama into the stratosphere. And Michael Cole, much maligned but not always fairly, does a Hall of Fame job on commentary, reminding us that there's always a chance, begging us to believe in miracles. And as Sammy hits an exploder, a Superman punch, and his signature haluva kick in quick succession, do you know what? I was starting to. There's nothing like pro wrestling, eh? Number 2, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns versus...
This is how you do big men correctly, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you do. 4 big men just beating the shit out of each other all the time and just causing chaos and going all out. This is how you do big men correctly, is this fatal 4-way. God, I love it.
Braun Strowman vs Samoa Joe, SummerSlam 2017. Before big meaty men slapping meat became a meme, try saying that when you're drunk, came this prime steak slapfest. It's like a proper kaiju fight. It appeals to the most base of our Neanderthal instincts. Big man do big bash. It's not so much a wrestling fight as a 20-minute display of people running full pelt into each other, and it is sick. It's utter carnage. Within the space of about 40 seconds, Joe gets speared through the barricade while Strowman barges Reigns into the 4th row, and then uses Brock Lesnar's body like a rag doll to demonstrate how the Spanish announce team failed to correctly follow the IKEA instructions. It's breathless, chaotic, destructive action that is WWE at its most sports entertaining. It's the kind of match where you wish you were standing with your mate holding a beer just so you could pour it over yourself in a rage of unbridled bloodlust. And the Brooklyn crowd are the 5th man in this ring, playing their part to perfection. The only thing wrong with this match is it doesn't end with Strowman taking the title. The crowd are so vocally behind him, and he looks like such a beast that it feels like even if this wasn't the plan, maybe this is where you call an audible. But even so, oh, blimey, just... Hang on, I'm gonna go watch it again. And number 1, Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan versus Edge, WrestleMania 36.
I've never watched this match. I don't think I've watched this match. I could be wrong and not remember watching it. But I have no memory of watching this match. I don't know if I've ever watched it.
7. I picked this for the top slot for a few reasons. Firstly, because it's bloody good, and secondly, because it was the closing match of the first show in front of a live crowd for over a year, brackets, night 2, and that felt like hope to me on the cold morning I watched it. But most importantly, because this was the first time I was convinced someone was going to defeat Reigns, and thus it was also the first time I wondered, how in the hell are they going to take it off him? And we're now coming up on 3 years later. Cripes. Also, Edge's gear was amazing. I mean, look at it. The rated R superstar had won the Thunder Rumble, and after his triumphant return year was blighted by an unfortunate injury and an even more unfortunate global pandemic, seeing him have a world title match in front of this live crowd was brilliant enough. But then you throw Daniel Bryan into the mix, an ingredient that works with literally every dish. He is the garlic of the wrestling world, if you will, and just you try and stop me. It's tightly plotted. The heavy interference from Jay is still somewhat fresh at this point, and they use the triple threat stipulation to absolute perfection, with each near fall becoming more breathtaking than the last. I was sure either challenger had it at various points, and this was Reigns' first WrestleMania defense as Tribal Chief. And that final visual of the vicious, brutal Reigns piling his opponents up to make sure he covered them both at the same time, like a monster playing with its prey, was enough to cement this as the beginning of something truly special. Greatness on a different level, not half. And that's our...
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this reaction video. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know what you think the greatest Universe Championship match of all time is. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all for the next one.